bird on a tree. I'm just sitting here, I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together, it's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great.
Good Friday morning, everyone. It's about 7:45. I am awake for the day. I had a really difficult time sleeping last night. I actually woke up quite a few times, and then finally I decided to get up around 7 because I was having some really bad back pain and just some really crazy nightmares going on. So I woke up for the day, been up for about 45 minutes. Sorry about that, I had to do a quick battery change. Anyway, so yeah, I'm up. I am working on just my morning routine, which consists of me testing my blood sugar, taking my insulin, taking all the pills in the morning that I have to take. One of the things that I do take is an antidepressant. It's an antidepressant slash like anti-anxiety medication. It's called ventiflaxin. I'm on 150 milligrams. I don't know why I spaced out on that. I actually think the proper name for it, like if you were to Google it, is Effexor, but the name that's on the bottle was whatever. But yeah, so yeah, I've been on that, and we just increased the dosage. I was on like 75 milligrams. He upped it a little bit, so we're trying to see how this works out, and yeah, hopefully, I get better. So anyway, well, I'm gonna go ahead and probably, I don't know, I need to do a lot of things this morning. I have an essay that I need to kind of work on revising, and I need to call my advisor because she's called me a few times. I didn't even realize until yesterday. So I'm gonna do that, and I will check in with you guys in a little bit. Hey guys, it's about 4 o'clock now. I made a easy grilled cheese, I guess. I basically just took some lunch meat and some cheddar cheese and popped it in the microwave for a minute. That is what that looks like. I made it and now I'm not hungry, so I'm actually just gonna put it in the microwave here, hoping that maybe in a couple hours I'll get hungry and I'll want to eat it. I've noticed that one side effect with my medication that I take every day is that after I take it, I kind of lose my appetite. So I'm not really sure if that's normal or if I should be concerned, but yeah, usually since I've been taking it, I will just completely lose my appetite after taking it. So anyways, I'm gonna head back to work, watching a little TV while I'm waiting for phone calls to go through. And yeah, just another very productive day. Hey y'all, happy Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday as a matter of fact. It is 1:32 p.m. and I'm here at work. Today I had to go into work a little bit early. I work 10 to 7 on Sundays, just because our stores close earlier on Sundays. So I've been here at work. It's actually been a pretty slow day. We all kind of saw this coming a little bit because it's Super Bowl Sunday, so we're pretty sure there's not going to be a whole bunch of people calling in about cars today. But that's okay. It's given me an opportunity to kind of catch up on some other things. Did my dishes, did some laundry, so now we're just kind of hanging out. I didn't vlog. I believe it was, I know yesterday and I believe Friday I didn't vlog much, or if I did, I ended it short just because I forgot to pick up the camera, and those were pretty busy days for me. So I'm going to try to do a little bit better today, get some more footage since it is a little bit slower, but honestly there's not a whole lot going on. So I haven't eaten yet. I go on my lunch at about 2, so in about 30 minutes or so, and then yeah, I'll show you what I'm eating for lunch. Hey guys, what's up? Happy Wednesday. It is 3:45 in the afternoon. This is my day off today, so I'm not working, which is kind of relief because it's been a very stressful week for me this week. So yesterday I called the Walmart pharmacy to try and see like what was going on with my Humalog refill, and they'd gotten the prescription, but then they had informed me that Medicaid, my insurance, was denying coverage because I have insurance through work. And so I went ahead and I did all the phone calls. I figured out what was going on, and so basically I have been kicked off Medicaid because one, I make too much money now, 2, I have insurance through work. So I was anticipating on this happening because I knew eventually at some point, you know, this was going to happen. The problem is that like the timing couldn't have been worse, to be honest. I did update my insurance with the pharmacy. I gave them all my information. I was like, hey, I have Anthem Blue Cross, blah, blah, blah. They informed me that my insurance won't pay for Humalog without a prior authorization. Okay. I've never heard of that before, at least as far as Humalog goes. Humalog is usually the one that they'll pay for, or that like most insurances will pay for. My insurance, however, doesn't, at least not without a prior authorization, which would require a doctor's appointment, which requires a copay. But that's a different story for a different day. So I was like, okay. They're like, however, they will pay for Novolog. I'm like, all right, perfect. Not perfect because honestly, Novolog doesn't really do much for me as far as keeping my blood sugars in control and stable. For those of you that maybe don't understand the differences, there are differences in the types of insulin that you take. So just because there's like 5 different fast-acting insulins doesn't mean they all work the same for everyone body. And so Humalog has been the most effective for me, but on the flip side of that, it's also the most expensive. Well, not the most expensive, but it's on the more expensive side, and there are cheaper alternatives, i.e. Novolog, that are usually the first thing that your insurance is willing to pay for. So I was like, okay, you know, I will take the Novolog because I don't have any other choice. I'm going to be out of Humalog pretty shortly, and I need something because obviously not taking any insulin isn't an option. So they're like, okay, so we need a new prescription with the Novolog. I'm like, all right. So I jumped through those hoops. I had my doctor send over another prescription for Novolog. They got that situated, and then I got a phone call from the pharmacy saying that the insurance is trying to deny it because the dosaging is too high. And I'm like, okay, quite frankly, I've never heard that one before. Usually it's based on the type of insulin that you're on, or like it's too expensive or something, but they're saying now that like, oh, you're just on too much insulin, like we're not going to cover that. So I talked to the pharmacist about that. She's like, okay, well, let me look into it, I'll get back to you. And I was like, all right, cool. So she calls me back and she's like, okay, we got him to approve it. your copay is going to be $100. What? Like, I don't know if this is pretty common, because honestly, I've never had insurance other than like state insurance, and a lot of that has to do with just income, as well as having a lot of anxiety about being on a work insurance, because I've heard the horror stories from other people, like things like this happening, like they'll cover it but their copays are outrageous, or not being able to afford their medications and things like that. So I've always had a lot of anxiety about making a certain amount of money, because I knew eventually things like this would happen. And so I've never had to deal with insurance like this firsthand. And so when she was like, it's $100 copay, I just was like, okay. Obviously I don't have $100, so I called my mom a bunch of times and I was like, I literally don't know what to do, because this copay is outrageous and I need it. Like, I can't go without insulin. So I called her. She was able to help me a little bit. I talked to my boyfriend about it and he was able to help me as well. So long story short, I've been able to come up with the $100 copay to be able to pay for my insulin for this month. However, that leaves me in a bit of a pickle, and I've honestly spent the last day just trying to decide, what do I do next? So here's some of the scenarios that I've been running through my brain. Scenario number one, 2 seconds, guys. Let me see if I can adjust the camera. Okay, there we go. So, scenario number one is I go down to part-time with my employer, right? Because it's all about based on income. It's based on, having insurance and stuff through work. If I'm a part-time employee, I won't have those benefits and I won't make as much money, so I can go back on the Medicaid, right? So that's option number one. I did contact my manager today to kind of see what that would look like and explore my options as far as going part-time. With my position working from home, I don't have a full-time or a part-time position. There just are no part-time positions in the CEC center. So it's basically they're full-time or nothing. I did ask him if there were other positions within the company that would allow me to work part-time. And there are, but they are in store. And the problem with that being is that I'm not fully vaccinated. I did get the first dose in October of last year and had a very severe allergic reaction. So I never went back for the second dose because honestly, I was terrified. So I'm not fully vaccinated. My doctor has honestly told me, as recommended for me to not get the vaccine, which I know is not common amongst most folks, but I just have a lot of health conditions and a lot of underlining things going on. So for me, medically, they did not recommend that I move forward with the vaccine. And then also just being allergic to it, kind of another big factor too. So, and in order to work in store with my company, I have to be fully vaccinated, which I am not. And so, the second problem is that I would need to, I would need to go in store, and that's not like the end of the world, but the Parker location, the closest location to me is about 30-40 minutes away. So for me, that's quite a bit of a drive to work part-time. Now, honestly, there's probably other stores that are a little bit closer, so I could probably work a little bit closer. But again, it's just, another financial cost that I have to think about because, working from home, I basically have no gas. I have no, other weird odds and ends. It's just me being at home. So, that is another consideration to take into factor too. Scenario number 2 would be to continue working full-time at my position with my company and just figure out the co-pays. I don't know. I mean, that might be my best bet at this point, but it honestly terrifies me because I don't know. I don't know what that looks like for me. I've never had to pay for a doctor's visit before. I've never had to pay for my insulin before. I've never had to pay for, syringes and test strips and things like that. And so, and although I'm doing better than I was financially last year, I'm also not making a ton of money, it's not like I'm making $60,000 a year or something. I don't make that much. So, it is concerning, how I'm going to be able to eventually manage all that, financially, and, what that will kind of look like in the future. The one thing that I do have on my side right now is currently I do have rental assistance that is paying for my rent. And I believe this program is up to 18 months. So I've gotten a few months already. So I'm already, using that benefit. But I have up to 18 months, so I think that would put me up until like next year, which is great, right? So for right now, the possibility of having to pay for my co-pays and stuff like that and pay for insulin is probably not that hard or wouldn't be as difficult. What concerns me is that after that rental assistance is up, what do I do then? Because then I'm gonna have the medical expenses plus the rent, plus the phone bill, plus the car insurance, and that honestly doesn't seem doable for me. The other thing that I've had to think about is schooling. So currently I go to SNHU and I absolutely love it. I'm in their psychology program and it's been honestly an amazing fit for me. However, that being said, I wasn't foreseeing all these problems financially to impact me. And the problem with SNHU, for me at least, is not so much the school itself, but it's just the financial end of it. So because I've went to other schools and other colleges and I've taken out loans and I've done, this, that, and the other, I already have a certain amount of loan debt. And so, there's only so much, you have a limit as far as federal loans and federal aid and stuff. And so, and I believe I've talked about this in other videos and stuff. So basically with my degree, there's about a $7,000 to $8,000 gap that I would have to pay for out of pocket. Now, I knew this going into this program and I was totally fine with that because I have tuition reimbursement with school and I have and I can make payments and things like that. So, and I'm going to be there for like 3 years, that was my mentality. So it was very doable. I broke it down. I could pay $200 a month and I would basically have my degree gap paid for, right? The problem is that once my rental assistance is up, right, I'm basically out of time, because then I have to go into paying for, again, X, Y, and Z, and then I'm not, having $200 a month to pay for school tuition seems a lot less doable when I'm paying $200 a month for insulin. So I don't know, honestly, where I'm gonna go with school at this point, and that's really upsetting, because again, I really like SNHU. I really love my program, I love my advisors, and I really wanted to make this work, but at the end of the day, if this isn't something that I'm going to be able to financially do and financially cover, then I need to start looking at my options now, as opposed to 2 years from now when I'm screwed, So, I don't know what to do. I've been to several different colleges. Again, this is something that I've always talked about and always been, very transparent with you about in videos, because I feel like my story is not an uncommon story. I feel like there are a lot of people out there who've kind of bounced around to different colleges for different reasons, changed their majors, had life catastrophic events happen, so I feel like my story is not uncommon. So I'm completely transparent with this. That's why when I started talking about SNHU, I even mentioned that, I really like the school, but I'm not sure, what's going to happen in the future. And so, and I've got to do more research on this, so don't, quote me on this right now, but if SNHU is not going to be the right option for me, as far as financially, I may end up looking, going back into WGU. WGU, for those of you that don't know, is Western Governors University. There's a lot of YouTube videos on it. There's a lot of Facebook ads. There's a lot of Instagram ads. They're pretty much everywhere. They've become really popular because of their low-cost tuition and because of their competency-based program. So basically, WGU is different in the way how they set up things, because instead of saying, like, you can only take 4 classes per semester, your minimum requirement is that you have to take 4 classes within your 6 months, right, or per term. But if you finish those 4 classes, let's say you finish them within a month, you can take more classes. So you can get your degree faster and you can get those competencies faster. And so that was one of the original things that attracted me to WGU. And the problem that I had with them, and the reason why I left, was because I was having issues getting transcripts from other schools to get financially to pay for my term. So basically, because I wasn't able to get that settled within 30 days, they, I don't want to say they kicked me out, but they basically just, I was locked out of my classes. And so what I would need to do at this point is I would need to pay off the term that I did, and then I would need to basically pay for the next term, which I could do with financial aid, because again, I'm not completely maxed out on my loan limit, but I'm close. So I have enough to pay for, some terms at WGU. And so I'm looking at the possibility of doing that. I'm not really sure, honestly. I'm just kind of very overwhelmed, very depressed today, and just not really sure where my life is heading at this point. So, I don't know. This is probably not the greatest way to end the vlog this week, but it's the realest way, and it's currently what I'm going through. And again, my goal is to always be as transparent about my life and about my journey as much as possible. And these are some of the real struggles that I have to deal with, and it's for life, you know. It's not a cure for diabetes. It's not a magic fix, and this is always going to be a thing for me. And so, you know, if you do have any loved ones, or if you yourself are diabetic, I honestly 100% support you and empathize with you, because this is hard, and there's a lot of hard days, and I'm just, for anybody, I'm so sorry, you know. But hopefully there will be some good days in the future. I don't really know, but it's what I keep telling myself, is that it can't rain every day, right? So anyways, I'm just really tired, really done with this week. So I'm gonna end the vlog for the week here, and thank you guys so much for watching. And of course, as always, I will make sure to keep you updated on my life and what's happening. All right, thanks. Bye.